Hello, Cindy here with Create Your Own Luck and Love, where I support women and men too in really opening up their hearts to receive and give the love that resonates within them. Yay! So I'm happy you're here, happy to be here today. And I'm talking today about 3 things that intensify his attraction to you. I'm recording this today on 9/11, and what I'm reminded of is that, many of those people left their homes that day and didn't realize they weren't coming back. There were so many people lost, you know, so many lives that were affected. So, starting off on that serious level, looking at going into your love life also with urgency, with the fact that you don't want to wait to open up your heart to create the kind of relationship that you want. You don't want to wait until, everything becomes just right. And, heating your heart, the things that you're grateful for, the warm bed that you have to sleep in, the love that you have for yourself, the love that you have for your loved ones. And that reverberates, that actually, vibrates out to the world and to a man that you're just an awesome human being. So that positive energy, your aura actually intensifies his attraction, your happiness, your gratitude. That's number one. So, grounding yourself in the energy of think about today, think about what today represents in the United States, at least, and actually all over the world. So, live each day like you don't have tomorrow. And not to be, morbid or anything like that, but really think about that as you're approaching relationships. Now, the next thing I'm going to share with you is this. You want to go into dating like you're the prize, knowing what you want, knowing who you are, knowing that you're really high value, and he gets to show up for you. So, and that can be easier said than done, especially when, as you start connecting with somebody, you really like them, our natural tendency is to start to want to do things that make ourselves more marketable to them. Want to put in more energy, want to, show ourselves worthy. And actually that creates the opposite effect. So if you just show up as you, keep your energy to yourself, be happy, be connective, right? That's one. But, the other thing too is, eye contact is really important. If you have eye contact with a man, there's actually studies around this, the more eye contact you have with a smile, with, with this almost intensity, but in a good way, right? You can give them your bedroom eyes, not in a creepy, I'm staring at you for 5 minutes kind of way when you're with him on a date. But, if you look into his eyes and there is studies around people that have been asked to stare into each other's eyes for 5 minutes, which can be uncomfortable. What it does is it creates a deeper connection, and it also releases the hormones in our brain. I think it's epinephrine, that is a love hormone. So it intensifies a man's attraction to you. So that in and of itself will support you. The next thing is make sure, especially, I'm talking about early dating here and getting to know someone, make sure that he's the one that's reaching out to you 80% of the time. I know, my ladies, and I dive deeper into these things and these concepts around, how you show up as the prize, that kind of thing, in my Attract and Keep Your Man program, as well as my Infinite Love program. So, you know, the other side to that, you guys, is when we, you know, when you are out there, when you're dating, I lost my train for a second, you know, like I said, let him be the one to reach out to you 80% of the time, and obviously be receptive. You're also not going to be available 100% of the time. That means doing self-loving things, making plans. Don't keep your calendar open all weekend if hasn't asked you out. And don't get resentful about it either. Just be like, oh, I'm gonna fill up my calendar. I'm gonna get, you know, make plans. If he asks you out last minute, he also knows that, oh, I've got to book her in advance, right? And remember this, I'm gonna keep driving this point home. We value things that are more scarce. We value things too that we have to work more for. Also, in that aspect, you know, he needs to know, yes, you're interested, and that you're not fully invested in him. So, and this is the next thing you want to do. You want to make sure that you do this. You're not showing that you're not going to be fully invested in him, and you're not going to show more affection towards him than he does towards you, especially if you're not in the stage where you're in a place where you're in a committed relationship. And early on, there's a time frame. This actually builds tension, and it makes you a lot more interesting to a man than somebody that's super easy. You know, and women will get triggered around this, like, he's going to forget about me. No, he's not. If there's a true connection there, he is not going to forget about you. In fact, he's going to think about you more and think about ways that he can win with you. You know, and let him know the things that he does great. I loved, you know, feeling your strong arms around me last night. That felt so good. You know, men they're feeling creatures, and our minds think in pictures. So by hearing that, and that, you know, it's that in tune effect of creating that tension, as I call it, but it intensifies his attraction towards you. Oh, I'm winning, and I don't quite have her. I could potentially lose her to another man. She knows herself, she knows her value, because what can happen too is, you know, you start trying to prove yourself worthy and looking over red flags, or accepting poor behavior, accepting things that just aren't okay. And if you want me to do a video on that, I'm more than happy to give you guys some real behaviors that aren't okay and how to support you around that. Maybe I should do a video around that. So also, I'm going to say one more thing here too, is be willing to walk away. So if you feel a great connection with the guy and it seemed really awesome, and then he's not showing up, and he's not showing your values, and he's not showing respect for you, be willing to walk away. And if a man knows that, then he will show up differently, right? We teach people how to treat us. It's why when maybe you've dated someone and they weren't showing up for you, or they were flaky, all those things, and all of a sudden, you know, you move on and they date someone else, and you see on social media how obsessed he is with her. Well, he's obsessed with her because she taught him that she was very worthy of a great relationship, and it made him rise. Now, not everybody's there. So if the guy doesn't want a relationship, he doesn't want what you want, you're not going to convince him. You're not going to be the one to change him. He might act like your boyfriend, but he's not invested. So you want to make sure you know that. and you know your worth, because you're freaking amazing. I love you guys. Share this with a woman that needs to hear this today. If you're on YouTube and you like me, you like what you hear, I'd love to hear your comments below too. What do you want to learn about today? You know, what can I support you guys with in your quest for love? And if you have any burning desire questions that you feel like you need some support with, go ahead and DM me, and I'll be happy to give you some online coaching, okay? Lots of love to you. If you're on IGTV, hello, thank you for being here. See you guys next time. Bye, everyone.